Okay. The special meeting of the Planning Commission is called to order at 7:03 p.m. Pacific Time. We will now take a moment for silent prayer or mediation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Assistant City Attorney Baron Betzenhausen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Joanne, can you do roll call?
Commissioner Lewis.
Present.
Commissioner Becerra.
Here.
Commissioner Hang.
Here.
Vice Chair Williams.
Present.
Chair Gutierrez.
Here.
Let the record show that all commissioners are present.
Okay. Tonight we have minutes from the regular meeting on October 24, 2023, and a special meeting on November 1st, 2023. Does anyone have any changes to either of these minutes? And there was, for the October 24th meeting, it says assistant city manager Paulina Morales. It should say acting city manager. Yeah, I think so. Okay, any more changes? Oh, yeah, I guess, everywhere it says assistant city manager should be changed to acting city manager. Then there's a couple of summaries that says, let's say assistant city manager. I think that's it. Anyone else? Any more changes? No? Okay. So with those changes, they will be approved. And then we'll now move on to oral communications. Would anyone like to speak on an item that is not on the agenda today? And so we'll open up oral communications. And our first speaker is Rahulio Esquire.
Hello. Is there a time limit or?
We'll start it right now. Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh. Let's see. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So, hello, my name is Roy. I come before you today because there were two accidents like back to back on like Thanksgiving and Black Friday, literally within less than well, about a day apart where I live, like on Amar and Westport. Because I live in the apartments like that are there at the intersection. And I wanted to bring forth like a solution that I don't think it's mentioned enough, which would be traffic calming measures. Most people who spoke at the city council meeting last week merely brought up the idea of like a left turn signal at Westport, but I think that's insufficient because it's not enough because it doesn't slow down the traffic approaching westbound on Amar to Westport, because it's kind of a sudden intersection that comes out at you on a downhill slope. And what I would suggest is someone who takes the bus and someone who waits at the intersection. Like every day I wait at the bus shelter where the pictures, the GoFundMe posters are for Adrian and I think it's, I know it's Adrian Fuentes and I know her name starts with an M. I don't think it's Melanie, but you know, the two of the people who died that day. And I passed by all the candles, the memorial. And I think as someone who takes the bus, it also, and I use that bus stop every day, and the bus stop on Shadow Oak and Amar. So I would think you could solve like two issues in one, kill two birds with one stone with traffic calming measures. You would also make the street for car traffic, vehicular traffic, much safer and safer for pedestrians. Make the area more walkable and less precarious and dangerous for people who ride the bus and don't drive, and people who can't drive like myself. Because the area is, well, it's not walkable at all. If you ever try walking along that stretch of Amar, you do have to be like alert at all moments. You see, it was designed with the car and the car only in mind. Pedestrians were secondary, if at all considered. And what I think should be implemented are, at the very least, a protected bus lane with bollards or pylons or poles that make the rightmost lane on the westbound side simply for buses only. Maybe from Shadow Oak to at least Westport, if not Temple, on the westbound lane of Amar Road. That's what I would recommend. Seeing from my experience living there for 5 years at this point, more, going on 6 at that apartment complex using the bus. So I would say a protected bus lane and bike lane. Make the bike lane that's already there protected with bollards or concrete or pylons. Make a curb extension. And in doing so, you narrow Amar Road, at least on the westbound side. By that, you kind of slow cars down on the downhill slope and force them to be more cautious. Because you can't rely on drivers' better judgment alone to slow them down and prevent future accidents for motorcycles, cars. Who knows, in the future, perhaps semis. There are time to time semis that pass on that stretch of Amar. So I would recommend traffic calming measures at the very least, such as protected bus lane, protected bike lane. Make it more walkable, maybe expand the sidewalk if possible. I know there are some challenges, like the exit to the apartment complexes there in the entrance where I live, because that's where I go inside. I would also just recommend upgrading the bus shelters on Amar, on the eastbound side of Amar at Westport. Adding a bus shelter, period, to Shadow Oak and Amar for the 178 going eastbound, where it turns, because there's no bus shelter there, period. And I think narrowing the traffic, like reducing the width of the westbound side of Amar is imperative, because kind of like I already stated, you force drivers to slow down. And signs, like the one that's already there and was there before the accidents, wasn't enough. And you can't rely on people to always make the right decisions, not be driving in a haste. So you have to force them indirectly to drive slower and drive more cautiously and be aware of their surroundings. And doing that, you do that by narrowing the street. Stuff like that.
Thank you. And so,
I was going to say, Mr. Chair, I'd just like to make a brief comment.
hopefully to be helpful to the gentleman who was up here. Unfortunately, the issues that you were bringing up are not within the purview of the Planning Commission. And I wanted to hear you out entirely, and I will certainly pass this on to my council member. However, what I would certainly recommend, and perhaps you can speak with Joanne, and she can give you the information about the traffic committee, which unfortunately meets at 3:30 in the afternoon. As much as I advocated strongly against this, because no one can go to a 3:30 in the afternoon meeting for the better part of a decade, I have advocated against that. I've also advocated for the traffic committee to have actual residents on it, which it does not. But notwithstanding my own problems with that, I certainly think that your concerns are very valid and should be taken up by the city council. And needless to say, I would direct you to planning staff, and hopefully they can get you in touch with the right people. And I will certainly pass this along to my council member, okay?
Yeah. Thank you for thank you, Commissioner Lewis. And again, our planning manager, Joanne Burns, will give you some of the email addresses of our city council and our acting city manager, so you could email your thoughts to them too, because the comments you made today are very important, and we want to make sure that those comments get to the right hands. So now we are, we'll move on to public hearings. Tonight we have two public hearings. First, we will hear conditional use permit number 23-08, categorical exemption applicant Angelberto Medina Jr., located at 331 North Azusa Avenue. Joanne, who will be doing the report?
Our Assistant Planner, Jerry Rivera, will be presenting the staff report.
Great.
All right. Good evening, Commissioners. Good evening, Honorable Chair. This is conditional use permit number 23-08 for Jumpers Jungle. This is an aerial photograph. The subject site is highlighted in yellow. The zone of the subject is subject site is neighborhood commercial. The location fronts upon Azusa Avenue and is accessible by East Workman Avenue on the south and East Roland on the north. The subject site is located inside the West Covina village. The surrounding uses are residential, single family, service commercial, office professional, and neighborhood commercial. These are pictures of the existing building. The existing building is where the Nickel Games Arcade was located. This is the site plan that was provided. Jumpers Jungle will be located within the south side of the shopping center, highlighted in yellow. This is the floor plan that was provided. The red triangle is the entrance/reception area. The pink area are the proposed jumpers. The blue area is the birthday party area. The purple area is the infant area. The green area are the restrooms. The blue area is office/employee area. And the red area is the game area. So this is the business operation. The hours of operation are 12 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. on weekdays. They will be closed on Wednesdays. And it is 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Jumpers Jungle will provide fun arcade games and state-of-the-art commercial-grade inflatable jumpers. Planning staff recommends adopting resolution number 23-6139, approving conditional use permit number 23-08. The applicant and I are present if you have any additional questions.
Great, thank you. Okay. Would the applicant like to speak on the project? Angelberto? Okay. Okay, those are great comments. So you want to say on the speaker? So, are you Alejandra? Okay, Alejandra Vargas, representing the applicant.
Gary did a great job presenting everything. He did mention at times our operation. We will be aiming mostly for private bookings. That's our main concern, our main target, school-age kids being the target as well. We do open on weekends, and that's probably going to be when we do most of our business, weekends. It's family-run business. Like I said, 3 of us. We do have a partner that wasn't able to make it today, but it'll just be 3 of us and our children.
Do you know offhand how many customers you could actually have at one time?
Yes, our aim with our packages that we have been putting together, it aims about 15 kids.
Okay.
It's a group of 15. We do have it. It'll be like 2-hour or 2.5-hour intervals. So that group has to be exiting or exit out, and then the new ones would come in so that they can set up as well. We only have one party area, so we can't have multiple parties going at once. So it's groups of 15.
And how many game machines will you have on the main floor?
It's 2 basketballs on the corner, and then it's a small area right in front of the bathrooms that has like something like air hockey or ping pong on the side. But they're the smaller ones. Our jumpers are mostly what the entertainment will be. A few foosball machines in the middle there.
Great. Do we know the hours of operation?
It'll be 12 to 8:30 on weekdays, and on weekends I believe it was 10 to 9.
Okay, great. Great. Any more questions? I guess that's it.
I'll just say something on that note. That place it used to be Nickel Nickel,
Right.
and it's kind of like a landmark for people that kind of grew up in West Covina. We've been telling people what we're planning on doing, and everybody gets excited. Oh, we're gonna have a kind of like how it was before, entertainment for kids. I tell them, yeah, it's gonna be similar to that. So it's gonna bring the community together, and it's gonna be fun for everybody, especially for the families.
No, you're correct. My daughters used to love to go to Nickel.
You see, yeah.
We both grew up going there.
So are you sure 9 p.m. is a good end time for the weekends?
For the weekend, yes.
Yeah, okay.
We have kids that have to go to school Mondays.
Great. Okay. Any more questions? Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I will now, we're now here, we have an independent comment, I believe, from Kim Stutliff.
That was for the other project.
That's another project. Okay. Okay, we'll hold off on that one. Okay, so we'll now hear anything in favor or anyone in a favor or anyone who's opposed to the project in the audience. Seeing none, we'll now close the public hearing and open discussion by the commission. I will now open commission discussion. Commissioner Lewis.
I'll motion to approve.
Okay, great.
Second.
Great. Joanne, can you please verify the resolution number, the motion, and do roll call?
Okay. The motion is to approve resolution number 23-6139, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of West Covina approving conditional use permit 23-08. I'll go ahead and do the roll call. Commissioner Lewis.
Aye.
Commissioner Becerra.
Aye.
Commissioner Hang.
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams.
Aye.
Chair Gutierrez.
Aye.
5-0 for approval.
Great. And I just want to say thank you for investing in our city and bringing this great venue that will make a lot of kids happy and their parents. So it's because of business owners like you who make our city continue to prosper by investing back into it. So thank you and congratulations on your new endeavor. We'll now move on to conditional use permit number 23-00, sorry, 23-07, category exemption with applicant Luis Velasquez, location for 410 North Azusa Avenue. The applicant is requesting approval of a conditional use permit to allow a baseball and softball performance training facility to be in a neighborhood commercial NC zone. Joanne, who will be presenting the staff report?
Assistant Planner Jerry Rivera will also be presenting the staff report.
Great.
All right. Once again, good evening, commissioners. Good evening, Honorable Chair. This is conditional use permit number 23-07 for At-Bat Athletic Training Facility. So the zone of the subject is neighborhood commercial. The subject site is the orange transparent rectangle. The location is on the corner of East Roland Avenue and North Azusa Avenue. The subject site is located inside the Barney Center. The surrounding uses are residential single family, service commercial, and neighborhood commercial. This is a picture of the existing building. The subject site has a yellow rectangle border. This is a site plan that was provided. The yellow color is the defined area that is for the athletic training facility. This is the floor plan that was provided. The yellow is the pitching mechanics training area. The red is the fundamental hitting and fielding training area. The blue is the weighting area. The green is the fitness and conditioning area. And the pink are the restrooms. These are the this is the business operation plan. The hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. The services that will be provided will deliver high-level baseball skill and knowledge that significantly increases and enhances players' baseball performance skills in the community by delivering an excellent training environment with quality training tools and instruction. During the public notification, a resident expressed concerns regarding noise. To address this concern, we added conditions J to O, and these conditions are intended to reduce the level of noise. Planning staff recommends adopting resolution number 23-6140, approving conditional use permit number 23-07. The applicant and I are present if you have any additional questions.
Great. Does the commission have any comments for staff? No? Okay. We're now open public hearing, and will the applicant Luis Velasquez like to comment on the project? Okay, great.
Good evening, Commissioner and Honorable Chair. I appreciate the time that you're going to give me for pretty much showing what I have in store for the community of West Covina. I've been currently living in West Covina for 34 years, actually 27 years. I got my wife, Rose Velasquez, and my kids sitting there. And I'm a military veteran, and I was in the 101st Airborne Air Assault. And I have 4 teams in the city of West Covina travel ball, which is assault baseball in West Covina, been actually established in 2008. I currently have a few kids in high-level baseball now. I have one in the minor leagues playing for the Milwaukee Brewers. So I've been actively involved for 2 decades in West Covina Pony as a coach, board member, and the president. I actually was part of the West Covina Sports Council. I coached 1 decade, actually still coaching. I coached for West Covina High School, won league in 2014, in the JV division, and also coached at Bishop Lamont. Also coached at West Covina Bruins for 13 years. I love coaching. I love football. I love sports. I currently have my teams currently practicing at the Sportsplex. I've been pretty much active in supporting the community and making with the kids. Currently 50 kids. Also currently with West Covina Pony, Wamarado Pony. During this time, I won a few World Series for West Covina at a high level. When considering this business, I had the public interest in mind. This is the biggest reason why I'm here. I decided to open this type of business in West Covina because currently we don't have anything or any outlets like this. And to reduce the issues that we have currently, because we have so many sports in West Covina. This is a big baseball, soccer, basketball. And West Covina Community Service can't handle all of us. So that's why it'll be good for our community if we open this. It'll give them an additional option considering when they're planning to run their leagues. We're talking about Cortez Park, Del Norte, and West Covina Pony. We're going to be training from 4U all the way to college and even the local kids who are in the minor leagues right now. If you look at our layout, we have a 60-foot mound. It's going to be dirt. We're going to have a lot of activity there. I currently have kids right now that I coach in high school at Sportsplex working with my kids. And they did 5 years at USC, play for the Mexican League. And I'm bringing those kids in there to help with their community. Baseball has changed dramatically from a high level. Now it's all biometrics, I say spin velocity, bat velocity. There's a lot of things going on right now. And I have the tools to improve a lot of kids' skills in our community. When I picked this area, I did a little homework. I knocked on doors and I told them what I was going to do in their area. And if I felt that this was going to be any roadblocks, I wouldn't, sign the lease and here we go. I'm prepared to put in place different options. I have like 3 options to improve or keep the positive relationships with our neighbors and in the back area. I don't know if you guys been in that area, but there's a lot of negative foot traffic. And normally when you bring positive foot traffic, the bad's gone. And I think we'd be able to do this. In our facility, there's 3 walls to our neighbors, adjacent to our neighbors. There's one in the middle where we're going to do the training. Then there's one where the door's at. Then you got the block wall from the neighbors. And I have 3 different phases. I don't feel that we need to do anything more, but if we have to, I'm prepared to do that. There's multiple things we can do. We can install acoustic panels, muffler panels, and also there's some other options that we can do. Currently next door we have the axe throwing place, and they've been there for 4 years. I've been in there, and we're not as loud as them. And also the pool area, I've been in there. There's a lot of things going on there, and they don't have those 3 walls that we're going to have. So if you have any more questions for me, I just really happy that we can help the community from a positive perspective. Mental health is a big issue with their kids right now. And I think if we give them something like this, and it can also help the parents and the kids in our area. So if you have any questions, I'm free to answer them.
Are you basically set up to take teams as opposed to working on a player one-on-one? Is it set up for teams to come in?
Correct. So what we can do for the community, and I already talked to the presidents of the leagues. I'm willing to do coaches clinics for the community because there's a lot of you got your son first year of baseball, never coached. I'm willing to spend some time with the local leagues and run clinics. also trainers to train the correct way of hitting, fielding. It's going to be open to anybody. You know, there's going to be a time slot. If you fill it, you're in. And I'm going to have really good players there, you know, from college, minor leagues. I had this kid that came down from Tennessee. He worked with my catchers. And I coached that kid when he was 6'7", and now he's in college in Tennessee. So to answer your questions, yes, I'm going to be training kids all ages, all the way from 4 all the way to the college.
So since you may be handling students that are high school and college, when it comes to the ball and the bat, that may be something that you'll probably discuss with the building department as far as noise. Because did you see in the conditions of approval?
Yes.
They're talking about the 5 decibels above.
Correct.
So that's where the acoustical panels may come into play.
Correct.
Only because naturally the older the athlete is and the stronger they are, if they're really looking to be world class, that could create some noise. But acoustic panels maybe would be a...
So what I did was I did some homework. I went to, there's a batting cage in Walnut. I went in there and I did some surveys outside. The decimal was supposed to be like 5, right? And it was below that. You couldn't even hear what's going on inside that building once everything's shut. And they didn't have 3 walls. So I did that because I wouldn't be standing right here and speaking to everyone here if I didn't do my homework. And I did my homework. And with the turf and with the walls, there's not going to be any type of noise bouncing. So I think we're going to be really, really fine there. Like I said, I won't be standing here now if I didn't think so.
Now, with the teams, how many student athletes would be there at any one time?
It'll be less than 40 at one time, even counting on the waiting room.
And so do you have 1 hour or 2 hours?
Yeah, normally
your sessions.
Normally the training is 1 hour.
Okay.
And the average kid will probably only get in an hour, 10 minutes of training because they'll go in there with 10 kids and they'll get, 6 minutes each. Yes. So it'll be in and out. But the quality of training is going to be really, really good. Like I said, this is for the community, and I think this will help benefit and help our mental health in our areas. That's what we need.
Right.
Great. Does any other commissioners have questions? Commissioner Heng?
No, I'm good.
Commissioner Becerra?
Not at this time.
Commissioner Lewis? And great. And then, this seems great. Let's see. Yeah, I think you answer all our questions. So
Thank you. Appreciate your opportunity.
We'll now hear independent comment from Kim Stuffliff.
Hello, I'm at 413 North La Brida. I must have missed the door knock. My only concern is noise. The company that was there before had doors open at night, loud. I see the restrictions are the doors stay closed. That's great. The other question I would be now, if he's going to have large groups, is everything stays within his walls. We live with our back yard to the horseshoe between 358 and 410. And when Zumba was in 410, they held things on Saturday in that alleyway. That was a surprise, amongst other things. So again, it's noise. If he's looked into acoustics, wonderful. We talked with the axe guy that when he moved in, haven't heard a peep out of that. The other question I would have is what modifications are going to be done to the building? Because when the swim school came in, they had to jackhammer and do. My only problem with that was that it started at 6 a.m. and went like for 2 days. So it's at least with no notice. And the 6 a.m. was a surprise. So that would be a question there, so to be prepared. But if the back doors are shut, even with weights, and they're not doing anything again, not to compare older companies to him, that's not fair, but with that's our only experience, is things that the other companies would do. They would do Saturdays after hours, and we had no repercussions. So otherwise, if he's keeps his noise and it's all contained with acoustics, welcome to the neighborhood and that. But I just wanted to have that on record, because we're in a position where that sound just reverberates off those walls. And I don't know, like the company in Walnut, what their building was compared to what these cinder block buildings, these are old buildings.
Correct.
So I'm not sure the quality of the sound thing, but to say the X guy did it and I don't hear a thing, and if they fall into that, then wonderful. But I just wanted to have it on that. So thank you.
Great, thank you. Now, if there's anyone opposed to the project in the audience, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and open discussion by the commission. I will now open this commission discussion and call on each member of the commission to see if they have comments. Commissioner Lewis?
I actually just wanted to raise a quick point of order. I believe that the applicant does have the opportunity to provide rebuttal testimony, and I don't think that was provided.
I don't think it's required, but I think Commissioner Vice Chair Williams mentioned the issue that the resident had in her comments, and I think it was addressed by the applicant already, but I'll reopen public hearing if the applicant wants to come and repeat what you just said.
Actually, do you have a question for the applicant real quick? Just curious, are you planning on doing any activities in the back alley or anything like that? It's just confined to your space, correct?
Correct. I got three. I only heard three of them. No building improvements. I mean, right now, the way it is, I mean, we're not going to do nothing to that building at all. We're not going to make no noise. The way the conditions is right now, we're not going to do anything more than that. The way the condition is right now.
Yeah, see, what the fire department was saying, that if it was a retail space, then you'll need to talk further with building, because there may be some other things, and that's what they were trying to give you a heads up.
Okay.
And so one of the questions that I actually have for staff, I don't know if we've had another facility like this with batting cages or some other type of athletic facility where you might be aware of if the building code may have certain conditions that they may ask them to meet, or will they simply find out when they submit for plan check?
If I may, we don't have another facility similar to this exact use, but we do have gyms in the city. So I think that it would be similar to how a gym operates, and the building code and fire code related to gyms would be, they would follow similar code.
Right. Okay.
And so I guess her major concern was the noise in the back alleys, which will disturb her household. So are you willing to put acoustic foam on the doors to make sure that the sound doesn't go through the doors kind of thing? It's a foam that it bounces back the audio or sound at times. It helps minimize it.
Correct. I actually looked into it already, and that's an option. There's actually 3 options that we can currently do. And I totally respect the neighbors in the back. You know, I'm going to give every neighbor my number. If they feel that, hey, we're not in compliance, you know, I don't need a third party. They can call me straight and we'll fix it right away. But we don't plan to have the doors open. We don't plan to do any training outside at all. We're going to respect the neighbors. And, you know, I want this to be successful for the community, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make my neighbors happy. And that's what I'm going to do. And the noise, like I said, that's going to be something that I'm going to work on. and to a point where I'm going to be in compliance. Currently, right now, we have 3 walls, and I feel that we're going to be good. But whatever we need to do to be in compliance, I will do that.
Correct. And so to that end, you did notice in the report, did you have a chance to see the comments that the building and the fire department indicated?
Yes. And that's why I was prepared to talk about it to a point.
Are you planning on going in and speaking with them to find out what you'll need to submit for plan check?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just curious with baseball, when they're hitting, what is the speed of the ball?
So the speed of the ball, it can be either from 80 miles per hour to, I mean, that's the older boys, all the way down to 40 miles per hour.
Yes. Okay.
Is that similar for softball?
Softball is little. It's not as hard. Softball is not as hard.
So I guess when they're batting at that speed, at the higher speed, at 80 mile per hour, if they were going that fast, I guess at the impact, what is the decibel at that moment, and can that be heard outside?
Like I said before, at the batting cage locally in Walnut, you can't hear any high say activity inside the building, and they only have one wall.
But as a coach, you probably know how the speed at 80 mile per hour at the impact of the bat. I guess the question is, what is the decibel at that moment? And you can probably hear popping noise, but in the baseball field, but it's been a while.
Yeah. So it really, the noise it's really quick, and actually it's going to be cushioned by nets. So it's not like it's going to hit a wall and like that. It's going to have nets. It's going to cushion the, there's going to be no noise. But off the bat, you're going to have that. It's not going to be no different than throwing an axe to the wall. It's going to be less. I can tell you right now.
What type of wall what's inside? What kind of wall is it?
Inside axe?
Inside the building, is it?
It's a brick. It's a brick wall, and it's
just the back, or all 3 corners.
But it's filled with concrete.
Yeah.
So it's not just the brick; it's filled. So that's why, these buildings you can't hear anything, unless you're in the building. I can hear them with the axe hitting. But if you're outside, you can't hear nothing.
Yeah. So I'll say, based upon my experience in working in the music industry and working with loud noises in concerts, in big venues and small venues, I think that this could be easily resolved if he added some additional foam, acoustic foam throughout the building that helps it from echoing, making an echo sound within the brick walls. So it going outside that brick wall won't occur if he adds additional foaming around where the door is located at. It actually minimizes that noise drastically. And then with that, we'll have a great venue in our local community that gives young kids the opportunity to learn baseball and hopefully become the next professional player for the Dodgers.
It sounds great. However, I guess my concern is if the noise is within the building and the 4 walls, and that seems like it's okay, but it's fine because everyone in there is used to those noise as well. And it's just that once it leaves the building, and it seems like, I'm not sure if Joanne, can you help answer some of the questions that, is there a decibel requirements for the noise outside, or from the building department or from the planning department, or no?
It's just what our code requires. No, I believe it's 5 decibels.
5 decibels. So that will, okay. All right.
And then if I'm looking at the plans correctly, the back area will be more of the gym area, correct? So that also makes a big difference, because if you had a batting cage right next to that door, there's possible that noise will go out. But because there's a buffer in between where the cages are at and the gym, that even helps even more minimize the noise going out.
Actually, I think the fitness area is going to be to the right, and then the pitching area or whatever is actually along that rear section, isn't it?
So you can, it. So that whole area in the gray in the back, that's the area where the fitness area is going to be.
Right.
All the green area is going to where the activity for jogging, hitting, it's going to be there.
It's going to be in the center, but the
Yes.
pitching area is right there along that one wall that's along the back, correct?
Correct.
But again, you're saying you have a net, so it's not a case where the ball is
It's not going to touch the
directly-
wall at all. So there's not going to be it's going to be like almost like 10 inches away from the wall. And it's made, it's like a shell.
nets are really
made
good.
for that area. Yeah.
The impact of the noise would not be hitting the net. I guess it's at the ball in the bat.
Correct.
Yeah,
That would be the
they
impact.
use the bat, they hit the ball, and it hits right onto the net. So it's like a really strong net that prevents it from going out. And
Correct.
But the popping noise would only occur at the bat
Yeah,
area.
with the bat,
That moment.
And they only get how many pitches, maybe within a minute, maybe 3 to 4 pitches. It's not going to be like a bunch of balls hitting like this. It's going to be one at a time, so I just real quick, I just want to mention one thing. I have a kid right here that I coached when he was 8 years old. He's playing for the Milwaukee Brewers. That's Carlos right there. And he's currently home right now. So that's what we're doing here in the community. And that's the area where we're going to pretty much help out in our community. So other than that, I really, I know your concerns. But like I said, I won't be standing here if I think if it was going to, not comply with the usage permit. Okay.
yep, great. Any more comments, questions for the applicant?
I think that staff has already made the necessary recommendations for Mr. Velasquez to proceed. So
Yes.
I don't see anything that would hinder.
Yep.
Okay.
Great. Thank you.
So much.
So at this time, we'll close the public hearing and open the commission discussions. Does any of the commissioners have comments? Any more comments? We're seeing none. I'll make a motion to approve conditional use permit number 23-07, category exemption for applicant Luis Velasquez for location located at 410 North Azusa Avenue, to approve the conditional use permit to allow a baseball and softball performance training facility to be in a neighborhood commercial zone.
I'll second.
Okay, great. We have a first and second. Joanne, can you please clarify the motion and call roll call?
The motion was made by Commissioner Gutierrez, second by Commissioner Becerra. And the motion is to approve resolution number 23-6140, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of West Covina approving conditional use permit 23-07. I'll go ahead and do the roll call. Commissioner Lewis?
Aye.
Commissioner Becerra?
Aye.
Commissioner Hang?
Aye.
Vice Chair Williams?
Aye.
Chair Gutierrez?
Aye.
Let the record show that the vote is 5-0 for approval.
Great. And with that being said, congratulations. And I want to say thank you for being a veteran for our nation. And again, just like the other applicant, investing back into the West Covina community and teaching the children of today how to be the leaders of tomorrow. So thank you. We'll now move on to commission reports, comments, and miscellaneous items. Would any of the commissioners like to report or comment on an item? Seeing none, I'll like to make a comment. I'll just say that our city had a huge toy giveaway that I helped produce with with a tremendous amount of support and help from our local police department and having our fire department there, having our maintenance department, our community services department there. Over $120,000 worth of Mattel toys were given away. And Paulina's not here to accept this, but Joanne is. So it says, the state of California, the office of the governor, Gavin Newsom, to the city of West Covina, to all those involved, I wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for your indispensable role in organizing the Centennial Toy Giveaway in West Covina. Because of your work, hundreds of children will experience the joy that comes from receiving a gift during the holiday season. By organizing one of the largest toy giveaways in the San Gabriel Valley, you continue to uplift your community with kindness and holiday joy. You represent the best that California has to offer, and I'm personally grateful for your warming efforts. Thank you again for your commitment to spreading cheer to families throughout the San Gabriel Valley this holiday season. Sincerely, Gavin Newsom, Governor of California. So, this is from the governor. And I'd also like to thank our videographer, too, who was at the event, too. And so, with that being said, we'll move on to the Community Development Director's report. Joanne, do you have any items to report?
Yes. Last Saturday, the city had a successful Christmas parade and Christmas event. Thank you to those who attended, and also thank you to those who participated in putting the event together. I sent an email to the planning commissioners regarding Planning Commission's Academy, which will be held on March 6th through the 8th at Long Beach. So far, Commissioner Williams, Becerra, and Commissioner Hang has registered. If the other commissioners would like to attend, please let me know so that I can get you registered for those dates. I have no further comments.
Great. And with that being said, I'd like to adjourn this meeting in memory of the victims of the car accident that took place on Amar Road a couple of weeks ago. I know there's Mallory Santos and Adrian Fuentes. We send our condolences to those families and do know that our city and our city council are working diligently to make Amar Road more safer for all. Since there's no further business to consider, this meeting is adjourned at 7:56 p.m. Pacific time.